Well, it might not be enough to solve the drought problems here in the Golden State, but it sure is coming down pretty good here in Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Oakland Raiders. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
Let's go. Let's do it. Ready, set. 53, Mike. Don't let it breathe. Don't let it breathe.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. I'll tell you, he got away with it there, pops up okay, but got to be careful in the running game.
You certainly do, and these young quarterbacks, these rookies, I remember talking to Carson Wentz his rookie year, and he said, yeah, but when I take off and go, I kind of have a running back mentality, and I'm like, yeah, but you're a quarterback. That's what they pay you for. Have that mentality, but know at the end of the play, protect yourself.
Down. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Nigel Bradham, the linebacker, right there on the coverage.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. 3 bud. Check. Check out.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Screen play, Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
So in Saints territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 48-yard line. The first carry now. This is Johnson. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's second and 9, just a yard on that last run. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. 3rd and long that time. He was trying to make something happen, but a little too risky.
Well, the field tilted on him, and what I mean by that is what you said, 3rd and long. Got to push it downfield to try and pick up the first down. Defensive backs live for this situation, and they took advantage of the young man right there.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. Something we're seeing more of with the rise of the run-pass option. A legal man downfield, and that's going to back him up.
Here we go, here we go. 8-3. General West. Hey, Haywood. Get.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. It'll be a gain of 9, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll drop the throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Two-jet bomber, two-jet bomber.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Carl Joseph up from his safety spot to make the play. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Not even a chance to pitch that one as he's swallowed up in the backfield. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down.
Hey, team 6 now.
He'll look to throw. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Try to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the return here will go to the 31. Yard line.
We got this.
Intercepted by the Saints. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Give them 18 there, and the Saints have a first down. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On play action, they'll throw. They'll find Miller. That's complete. Quick move by Miller. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
Nice little nifty play for them there. That's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down.
64. Hey.
That's the end of the first quarter with no score.
Set, ready? 50, plant. Yo.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. From the gun, a run for Johnson. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They try and run on 1st down, but to no avail. Tackled for a 2-yard loss in the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. It'll be a Saints first down on a gain of 16 yards.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. It's a big play there for the Saints. 53 yards. So that changes things in a big way. Now from all the way down inside the 30, here's 1st and 10. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or two.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Here we go, here we go. Topper, topper. Hey, let's go. Hit it.
They'll look to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point. It's a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
And feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That really sets him back. A loss of 6. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. We'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand. Eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively. Brings up 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
This is away, and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. And a good result there as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
He's going to look. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they'd take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. 2nd and 1. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 22-yard line. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 22-yard line.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 2nd and 10. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Carl Joseph.
Intercepted. The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll throw now on the final play. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Airing it out deep for Smith. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Anthony Averett picks it. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
Look at me, zipper! Five.
He'll drop to throw. He's got Smith here. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Touchdown, New Orleans. Traquan Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or do they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Still in search of their 1st touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
53's the money. 53, check 53. Hey, get in the weight room.
Back to throw here. He's airing it out for Williams. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the return will stop right around the 25. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
He'll have a 1st down past the 40. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. Keelan Cole, the intended target.
This is one of those plays that could go either way, but we've seen the influence of the college game now in the NFL, where we're seeing more and more of these plays run, and that one went for a big gain.
Here's Kamara out of the pistol, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Go. Now.
They'll set up a throw. And that's incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Push him back. Bravo.
And the blitz does come. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. It's John Simon with a sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work. And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That was excellent.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they've got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points.
38 yards on the scamper there. Now the big play pushes them all the way out to the 40 now for 1st down.
Check three.
They're going to look to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Oh, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. They'll try to get the offense going with Kamara. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run it again with Kamara, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs, but the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Hey, wahoo!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The open man is Smith. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Mike 51, Mike 51. 22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber. Get it.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Miller. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Saints. They'll be looking to expand their lead here. They've got the football as we start the 4th. The Saints on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play, because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, They want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And he finds Stills, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there at 22. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hadn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. He uncorked. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Now Kamara. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now back to throw. Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. And they'll run it from the gun with Miller. And some room to work. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Lamar Miller, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Alex Anzalone able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Back to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. 23 yards, the final tally. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's complete. Stills. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'll drop to throw. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 39. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. A 1st down carry now for Miller. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. It was Anthony Averett who got him down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
Here we go.
Well, we tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He can run for it, and he will. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And this one is right down the middle. And the lead now increases to 20-0. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Let's go, let's go.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And no pitch there, and no chance either, as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. He'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And they're going to get this beyond. On the 40 before he's taken down.
Go! He's coming, he's coming.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
first down. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. 7 seconds remaining. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. They'll set up to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. So this one, a victory here for New Orleans. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
Well, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for New Orleans, it may not be too late to salvage their season as the win moves them to 2-5 now on the year. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they suffer their 4th loss so far. And they'll try to turn things around next week as they have a matchup in Cincinnati against the Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin.